Yeah, that's how you kick off a Monday night. Hello to everybody filing in. Those of you that have been waiting in the comment section for like the last 20 minutes, I am so sorry. We were just kind of putting the fine little details on a few things as we are going to give our official review of Vltimas's new record, Epic, which came out this past Friday. So if you haven't had a chance to hear it, you're going to get a lot of information tonight. You're going to get our side. You're going to get metalsucks.net's side as well. And you'll be seeing what that's about here in a little bit. But damn. So I think you're going to be able to hear both sides and kind of like think for yourself about this record. So, but before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break as we are debuting the official Morgrot Entertainment commercial. Check it out.
Things that have been with us.
Yep, wrong one. I was just joking. I was joking. Here we go for real. That's right. Morgrot Entertainment, your one-stop shop. One-stop shop indeed for all of the most blasphemous, I don't even know what to say, horrific, all things dark all the time. Anything from art to our wonderful podcasts that we do, to Morgrot Magazine itself, Morgrot Records artists, man, everything. So check it out at morgrot.com. And as a matter of fact, we got so many comments out here. So I'm going to try to get to it all here as quick as I can. I didn't realize everyone was going to love that as much as they just did. So I put on Reapers Underground Facebook and Black Flame Entertainment's Facebook the link to get the merch. Now, the Morgrot merch, you have to go to morgrot.com for that stuff, or straight to the head chieftain himself, John Sorrell. He's a pretty easy guy to get a hold of. So if you want some Morgrot swag, go straight to him. And if you want some for our wonderful shows, definitely click the link that I posted yesterday, and you guys can order anything you want at an affordable price, and you get it really fast. So, and here we go. So Kyler says, been waiting forever. So sorry. Mousebong says, I was too early. No, you weren't. I actually thought it was really cool. I'm like, woohoo, somebody's actually hanging out. Cody, what's up, brother? Let's see. Mousebong says, nice job, Reaper. Well, thank you. Apparently, Cody really dug it too. He says, badass. Mousebong says, oh, the shirt looks nice. I didn't know it was without the background, all transparent like. Looks cool on the t-shirt. Yes, the Attic shirt. Absolutely. Which every single one of you addicts out there, if you want to support us and you love this show because y'all come and hang out with us every Monday, man, we'd appreciate that shit. Because what does that do? It supports us by you wearing it around and people asking you, hey, what is this all about? And then you could tell them. Pretty soon, just so you know, we are also going to have some official merch for the goddamn program as well. That should be unveiled later this week. All right. So as always, we appreciate it if you guys share this stuff out anywhere and everywhere so that everybody can find out a little bit about Vltimas Epic with our official review. So the floor is yours, Brother Hoofbeast.
Oh boy. So if you haven't heard of Vltimas before, and by the way, thank you, Mousebong. And what a nice, did you notice that Mousebong's picture has changed too?
Oh, has it?
I think we know what she looks like.
Oh, now. Okay. Well, pretty cool stuff. All right.
Yeah, beautiful picture on there. So if you haven't heard Vltimas before, and we're about to review this album, I thought it was really important for me to go back and listen to the first album quite a bit so that I can kind of compare and contrast. The first album came out in 2019, and it is called Something Wicked Marches In.
Yes.
And to me, overall speaking, it's a very, very different album than this one, and I like them both a lot. So the 2019 is like really heavier on the black metal side.
Big time.
And it bites a lot harder, a lot more blast beats. It is super aggressive, very aggressive, maybe not as aggressive as Vitriol. And, we reviewed them about a month and a half ago. Maybe not quite that aggressive, but it's very aggressive and biting. And the guitarist just brings out all of the black metal licks and tricks throughout. It's amazing. And so then we get to this new album, and it starts off with an intro. And the intro is an instrumental, and it's real kind of dissonant. Me likey dissonance.
Yes,
and
it was tasty as fuck.
So does Mousebong. She likes dissonant music quite a bit as well. And then it gets into all the tracks. This album is a lot more mid-tempo, but I'm not taking anything away from it. It's still a great album. I do have a couple of issues. One major issue with the album, and it was a risk that one person in the band took, and it's on him. And I'm all for risks. Sometimes you take a risk and it works out, and it's only my opinion that it didn't work out. Maybe you guys will listen to it and love it. So Reaper, you can take the first track after the little intro instrumental if you want.
Well, and I'm so glad that you brought up the previous record, because everyone totally wait a minute, that's really funny. Mousebong says, I feel so dumb because I never really knew how to pronounce this band's name. Yes, as David Vincent pointed it out before our interview about a month ago, that it is Vltimas, and it's like some kind of like old language way of how that name is said properly, so I didn't fuck it up in the interview, because I was saying Vltimas the whole time, and trust me, I felt stupid too.
Me too. I was too.
Did you? Okay, yeah. So we share that little bit of embarrassment, although I was a little bit more embarrassed talking to David fucking Vincent, and he's like, it's not how you say it. I'm sitting here going,
Hey, let's show a clip of that.
I'm sitting here going, I just said how much I love your band to the lead vocalist, and I said it incorrectly. It was like by one of the metal gods, you know. Man, we're going to be talking about so many different aspects of this record, but I was so glad that you had brought up that previous effort because that is what got shown to the world, that this band is definitely a super group of extreme metal in every single way. Now, it does not surprise me, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't surprise the Morgrot universe at all, that Rune Blasphemer coming off of Mayhem was still kind of like in black metal mode, even though he got into doing some other bands shortly thereafter before actually getting this project together that were definitely not black metal at all. So many different avenues that he does now. But I think more or less he was like, I just have all these great black metal riffs that I just want to rip and tear. And here we are Vltimas, and we're going to destroy you. And they did that. They did that with that record. This record is different. It was very ballsy, in my opinion. Like Brother Hoofby said there with Volen's Discordant is the very dissonant guitar track that opens this record, which I actually thought was kind of brilliant because they did that versus any kind of like symphonic shit. Nothing like that. Like no keys, no spooky sounds or whatever. It was just straight sludgery from the abyss, if you will. And I really dug that. But when we got to Epic and it starts out with a very, like you said, mid-tempo drum, I'm like, I would have thought for sure there would have been like a
Yeah.
and like right into it. Nope. It was like slow and moody, which is okay, you know, because I mean, we are doomsters at heart as well. But it just wasn't what I was expecting. The riff in there, still very chuggalicious. Don't get me wrong, because I mean that's what Blasphemer does. But he's very more metal on this record than he is extreme metal. Not saying they were poppy riffs. It's just something like he was a little bit more layering some sprinkle leads here and there. And they don't really pick up speed until I would say almost mid record, which is weird, especially for them. The black metal track doesn't even happen until later on in the record. So it was like mostly kind of between this like nice little groovy kind of thing and then some thrash thrown in there and some like 4/4 double bass stuff that, I mean, we're talking about Flo. Flo is a beast in and of himself as a drummer. So to hear him playing so simple, but damn it, I kind of thought it was genius because when you pull the reins back on the beast and give him a simpler drum riff to play, his fills stand out in all its unholy glory. And that's kind of what I pulled out of Epic. The Misery song. There's even some prog elements to Epic, as it is not in straight 4/4. Once the track opens up, I don't know if you caught that. The time signature, I think, is like 4/5 or possibly 7/4.
Yeah,
well, proggy.
and like what Spotify does after you finish the album, the first song for me is from Enslaved's album from last year, Heimdall.
Oh,
and
nice.
Enslaved, it like this does remind me a bit of Enslaved. Like it's like Enslaved is no longer like super straightforward black metal at all.
Right.
It hasn't been for over 20 years. But it reminds me of that a little bit. But it really is its own monster still, and you get so much variety packed in. Like we're saying it's mid tempo, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't lack a whole ass load of creativity and variety in there. And it's super tastefully done, professionally done. The production is out
Astounding.
fucking standing on this. Amazing. One hell of a
Super clear.
record.
Everything so super clear.
So one of my minor issues is coming through on this song, though, on Epic. Epic is the first track that has vocals. And before I say this, David Vincent is and has been for many years after I did not like him on Altars of Madness, but once we hit Blessed Are the Sick and then Covenant, and then Domination, he's one of my top 5 favorite vocalists and always has been. He's a super intelligent guy. He does take risks, and he shat the bed with a risk in 2011 with Morbid Angel on the Allude album. And so it's when he tries to get rock and rolly on us or industrial rock and rolly. So what he does in this Epic song that I personally don't like, let's see.
We're following you with this.
Yep. Okay, Mouse Long. So what he does is he's doing vibratos on the end. So he's going
Yep.
like at the end, and I don't like that. And there's one song on this album. I love the guitars, all the instruments. If they should have left it as an instrumental, because David Vincent really jumped in with both feet on this one, and me no likey, and me never will like him.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was going to let you have it. I didn't want to hog all the spotlight. So at some point, David was listening to some later Danzig a little too much with the Cookie Monster gurgle, is what I call it. That is the vibrato, because when he doesn't have a rasp or anything underneath of that, and he's just going, I mean, you sound like a motherfucking truck that is trying to start, but it's not turning over. And I get it. I mean, the man has got so many different projects he's doing, so maybe he thought he could inject some flavor in there. But oh, apparently Mouse Bong liked that. I mean, come on, anybody can do that, and I just don't have, his credibility in the metal community as a vocalist, so I would never do that, because I really like this record in so many ways, and the fact that David uses so many different styles of singing, some which are very, very cool. Everyone praised the fuck out of the like Gregorian chant that he does on one of the tunes, but you're going to be amazed that I will actually agree with metalsucks.com on one aspect, and when we get there I'll let you know, but yeah, that was definitely but what a damn good solo coming out of Room. Very
Man,
tasty solos, man.
Oh, he's superb. And like the black
So
metal
tight.
licks. Yeah, and the black metal licks that he throws in, like he does everything that I love. The arpeggios, the little hitting the last the 3 high strings open, and it does that chime, like chime. Like I love that stuff. Like as it's holding the kind of empty space in between hits from the snare. I love that stuff. Like he's an amazing guitarist and everything's so tastefully written. Now, what I will say about Epic and the vibrato, to me, it doesn't totally ruin the song. But when I heard this, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I like this. And I've thought about it over the last couple of days quite a bit. And it sounds kind of like somebody on Broadway doing a musical. And they're holding that vibrato out. Kind of like this, but he does it a little bit more garbled. But it just, I'm sorry, I cringed when
it
I
sounds
heard
like
it.
he's got mashed potatoes stuck in his throat. Yep.
Yeah, I was embarrassed for him because it's cringy. It's like not. I'm like, dude, that's not good. Somebody should have had some veto power or some power to challenge him for that. But it's not horrible in the song Epic, but it gets fucking horrible in one song.
It does, which is why I feel like David kind of like gets his cred back by the next track.
Yes.
With Miser. Oh, he even says it better than I do. Miserere. It's kind of
Miserere, I
French.
think.
Okay, there it is. Miserere.
Miserere, I think
So
that's it.
with this song, I think was probably between that and the black metal track that comes up a little bit later are the best times of him vocally. Because he can switch it up from whatever he was trying to do with Epic to absolute badassery. And in this case, which Miserere is a little bit of a different kind of track, but it's definitely heavier than Epic was. And it's kind of funny that you say that. Mousebong says, it's just going to be hard when I tell people to check this out because the first song is epic. And that's why you tell them start on track number 3. That's what I would do. And we're actually going to listen to a little bit of it. And they cannot ban me for this because this was public.
This is the face of love. Some around the misanthropic family point of view. Hate. I am a mere won't deviate. Reflecting all the acts with pleasure. It's nothing new. It's nothing new.
Just a banger, man. I do. I dig that song a lot. No, it's not super extreme or anything like that, which you would expect. But it's definitely got a lot of fire, a lot of energy. And David's voice on this, I think, is great.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I really like that song. I like every other. Well, no, there's the one song that I don't like. We're approaching. We're getting close.
We're getting there.
For Miserere, I thought that song was really good. I just wrote great for it. Like throughout, great variety. The guitarist changes it up. The tone of the bass is real guttural and deep, and he plays very few notes, but it supports everything and helps with the thrust where it's needed throughout.
It's like you could hear from that track how the double kicks of Flow and Rune's fucking guitar mastery work together. It's like they're pancaked into each other, and it just sounds so good. And that was, in my opinion, a really good representation of that. Let's see. Mousebong says, I like that one too. It's simple, but a banger. And that's kind of what I think makes it a good song. It might be simple, but it still has some gut punchers in there that I'm just like, yes, I'm so glad that after a section like we just heard, they bring it up with that. It was perfect. Like, I wouldn't go into a groove section there. I mean, you could, but then you'd be doing more like a Vinnie Paul thing, which wouldn't make any sense with the song. So,
good decisions on this song. Like, this is what I was like, okay, this is mid-tempo. It's different, but it's still really good. And the vocals, because things are mid-tempo, you really get to hear the pronunciation. And David's really big about this. He did an interview like a month and a half ago and maybe a month ago and made a really big deal about people being able to understand him.
yes.
And I love it. I love that about his vocals. I still love me some Devourment and some of the crazy stuff that there's no way you're going to understand it. Artificial Brain, you can't understand real well. There's so many really good bands that do that stuff, and I like that too. Sanguisugabog. But this I really love listening to him because it sounds really tough, and like his vocal folds are really really well developed and strong and forceful with everything he says. He really owns it.
I mean,
well.
there's just like a ton of power behind it if he's, you know what I'm saying? His delivery, I think that's what that's where I'm going with that. A lot of dudes his age probably can't project the way he does. So I definitely agree with what you're saying there. Oh, we have a new viewer. Awesome. Blasphemic Witch, welcome to Tracks of the Damned. Says, I love Blasphemer so hard. As do we. This album, you know, even though it's got mixed reviews, his guitar mastery shines through every fucking time he plays. just period. Even if you don't like anything else that's going on, you can't not like what he's playing and how Rune plays. He is power, man. And I'll tell you what, that engineer caught every bit of that man's power. When he cracks that snare, you feel it. Just like if you were listening to one of my albums. Really made sure that punch was there. Those kicks are above board, and they're just fucking dancing around each other. It's fantastic. Rune is very unique. I agree. Blasphemic Witch. You know, putting a seasoned black metal veteran into this kind of thing. It's really where his tone, his creativity is really shining through. Some of the stuff was a tad atmospheric here and there. I think it was I probably won't even get this title right. Exertus Ira?
Yeah, I think it's
damn it.
Exercitus Array.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you did better than me, so you get the gold.
100%.
You get the gold star.
Yeah, this song has the most black metal, and this is my favorite on the album. It's the hardest, the fastest, the heaviest hitting, and I like the first album better, but mostly because David Vincent didn't try any exploration that
not vocally,
failed
no.
on the first album. That's really good, really tough, very straightforward. It's death metal at times, and a lot of times black metal for that album. This one is a real big mix, and I love that. Like, I will go back and listen to all these. I'm sorry, but there's one song I have to fast forward through because of David Vincent.
Yes. It's sad but true, folks. Totally, this was shades of that fury from Something Wicked. Just it was like I had 3 tracks of regular David's voice, and then all of a sudden he pulls out the super low danglers on his voice on this one, and it was just like the power is back. I think a lot of it has to do. No, Kyler, no. He said, just had to ruin the fun, David. No, we're not ruining him. Oh, it's okay, Babylon. As long as you got some gummies and some wine, you're good to go, brother. Let's party together. We're just having fun talking about Vltimas, and we're getting to a point where we're getting a little bit more technical about this record. It's like, man, if they would have had, honestly, because like you, Hoofbeast, and everybody out there in the Morgrot universe, we love the diversity on this record. It is really fucking cool. But if we had 2 more songs like Exertus Ire, I think everyone as a whole, critics as a whole, probably wouldn't be so against some of what's going on there, because you'd have balance, which is, something that David and I talked about as well. But, as a record, I think the track listing.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah. Load this up. There are better songs to load up front.
Yes, absolutely. Because that lends so much. I hate to say it. It's like planning the perfect set list if you're going to be playing a big show. It's like when you're making a record, you want to make sure that each song flows into the next and the intensity is like a constant build to a big fucking finale. Um, so I'm going to pull up a couple things here. Let me see here.
Yeah, I want to know what Metal Sucks said.
It's not pretty. So we're going to lead off with this. It says supergroups can be a tricky thing. Sometimes the stars align and they do end up striking gold, but I found that they rarely live up to the hype. There are a handful of notable exceptions, but outside of the occasional outlier, it's usually, he's just basically saying bullshit. Like they do it just to be a cash cow. But it says, sadly, Vltimas, which also features legendary Cryptopsy drummer Flo, and of course, Blasphemer, falls in line with the majority. It's a cool concept on paper, but the execution with their new album, Epic, leaves much to be desired. It says, given the lineup is filled with so many bruisers with a slew of great albums under their belt, spanning multiple decades, you would think that we were in for one of the heaviest, most frenetic and furious albums to come out in. I have to, I can't take too much away from the guy. You know what I'm saying? This guy knows who they've played with, probably's heard the records. You know what I mean? This isn't some asshole just, I fucking hate you, because I don't like this kind of music. But they go on to say, it says, all right, I've torched this thing enough. Let's take a step back and try to end on a positive note. As I said, the album does get better in the second half. Yes, it really does. And he says, a shining example is the track Scorcher. I disagree. I think when we hit Exortus, I felt that the album started to pick up traction. But he goes, that one's fast as hell, legitimately heavy, we know this. But he talks about what have made one of the closing track, what should have ended up being the closing track, because the Spoils of War was a fader and unfortunately did not bring what he considers to be, you know what I mean, a better track to end on. It says, additionally, Invictus is a much better use of Vincent's harsh singing technique, giving the Gregorian chant vibes in certain parts, which add a ton of atmosphere. Yes, definitely. So you see, he's not just trashing it. He's not just saying this whole thing fucking sucks. He's like, there are moments that are like, yes. And then there's moments that are kind of like, guys. Not shouldn't have happened. So I thought there's a little bit of what I agree with and a little bit that I don't agree with. I don't think that this band is a mistake. Every time a band tries to get creative, all these fucking little pencil guys start talking shit. And it's like, dude, just feel the music. Listen to it. It's still passionate.
Yep.
Uh-oh. We have a new hashtag, everybody. That's it. I'm hashtagging it. It's happening. It's going to happen for a while now. That's awesome. There is one track that I absolutely do not like. Mephisto Manifesto.
Thank you. I'm with you. I knew you would be.
Dude, that track should have never fucking happened. Should have saved that for a B-side.
They took a right turn down Rock and Roll Avenue, and fucking David Vincent stopped at for Dairy Queen and got him some on that avenue. Then he went and got some cheesy fucking chili fries, and And then he used the word manifesto. I don't know if I hear that fucking thing again one time, he's like, I don't know if I can do it right now, but he goes like, manifesto
Sounds like a
over and
pizza.
over and over and over again. And this is one of my big pet peeves that happens with washed up songwriters. And I'm not saying he's washed up because he did great for a bunch of other songs,
Right.
but anytime, and I'll tell you to go back, like Lamb of God had Ashes of the Wake, and then Sacrament came out. Great fucking albums. And then when Wrath came out, they stopped the groove and they got more rhythmic. And then fucking Randy Blythe's songwriting, he started using these single words that you just continue to repeat. Where's the fucking creativity out of one of the biggest metalheads that I admire out of the whole world? When you say manifesto, I think it's like 16 times and it's sung out long. Every time he sings it, it lasts 7 to 10 seconds. Manifesto, but he does it in a more garbled way. But it's like that's what I get in my head with the vibrato all the time. But the song is good, but it is the most kind of mid 80s Merciful Fate, Motley, old Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue kind of type of metal for that song. It's still good. If it was an instrumental, I would love it. But Mephisto, Manifesto, no, thank you. David,
It was.
not like bad idea, and shame on the producer for not saying, dude, this just doesn't sound good. This is cringe.
He was probably afraid to say anything. He was like, everyone else is happy with it. I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to take my paycheck and run.
Yeah. Whenever a songwriter does the chorus with one word and repeats it 4 times or more, they are creatively bankrupt. I'm sorry. He is for this song. Bad mistake.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. I think he basically was trying to make us, and this could have been lyrics that he wrote, not even thinking about this record, and was like, hey, I have this. And I like what, the rest of the band is doing. Let's see if I can make it fit. And that's how he made it fit. I mean, we've seen that happen.
He forced it and it does not fit. And this sounds like he's doing some Phantom of the Opera on stage. Like, if that's what it reminds me of, like, it's cheesy. It doesn't belong in a metal song like this. Now, if you want to do cheesy Dragon Force or other types of power metal, like, I'm not a power metal guy, like, go for it. So that's that style that does not fit with this music that was written. And I feel sorry for the rest of the band because they're going to take heat for this.
Yeah, which is why I'm kind of surprised that it didn't get mentioned in that article written by metalsucks.com. So, but I'm glad we mentioned it because, I mean, come on, man, that's the big elephant in the room right now, is that track, and it's just not a good track. Scorcher picks it right back up, and we're like, thank you, we've been through the pain, we got through it, we can now stop vomiting, to say the least. And the rest of it goes very well. Invictus is another good one.
Although Invictus does the same thing, but not as long. He says Invictus, 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 Invictus like 4 times, but it's for like 3 seconds or 2 or 3 seconds instead of 7 to 10 seconds dragging out fucking Manifesto. And I hate it when I hear choruses like that where they just have one word and they repeat that word. Like in Ashes of the Wake of Lamb of God, now you've got something to die for. He repeats that like 4 times, but that's more than one fucking word, and he changes it up a little bit. It's fucking awesome. That stuff busts balls.
when it has a little bit more, creative flow with it, and like you said, changing it up, it gives it different layers, different dimensions, different levels of heavy. No, Blasphemic Witch, we did an interview with David Vincent, the vocalist of Vltimas. We were going to speak with Rune, but due to some unforeseen things that were out of everyone's reach at that point, we weren't able to get Rune on. But we hope to get him in the future because I love the dude. He's awesome. So, yeah, and I definitely agree with Mousebong on this as well. Scorcher is fire. Absolutely it is. And to answer your question from a little bit way back, I am drinking Canadian's finest as usual. Always with the black velvet, only this time it's the 10 years aged version, so it's got a little extra bite. But before we move on to the rest of this record, we're going to kind of get a inside look into the creative process for the lyrics for this record that we were able to capture due to our interview with David Vincent, which you can find on Facebook, my Facebook, Black Flame Entertainment, Morgrot Entertainment, and of course, all of the YouTubes. So check this out if my computer is going to work with me. Here we go. Check it out.
Things that have been with us for as long as we've had recorded history. There's wisdom that is part of an intrinsic part of humanity that's been around forever. Now, unfortunately, most folks don't subscribe to it, as is evidenced by, continuing to make the same mistakes over and over and over again. There's probably, let's put it this way. Outside of maybe new scientific or medical breakthroughs, new technology, the human condition has not changed one bit. There's not a situation that has happened or that could happen that hasn't already happened. And people lose sight of this. And, it's insane. Literally, it's insane to continue to try the same thing and expect a different result. And I know this as a student of history. So I don't know. This is the frailty of humanity in the fact that we can't, with all this, everything emerging around us and everything getting smarter from a technological and scientific standpoint, medical standpoint, we are still prone to these ridiculous emotions that we have. And I guess there's beauty in imperfection, but.
So there, because Rune Blasphemer had talked about in a previous interview that he can't really speak for what David writes about, other than he just calls it apocalyptica. And that was kind of like a really good look into what what was going through his head for this record, because there's definitely themes running through here. And like he said, being a student of history and all that stuff, we can kind of pull that out of a lot of these songs. It's just unfortunate that one of them was Manifesto.
David's gonna catch it for years for that song. He's the one that's gonna take it on the chin, but unfortunately the rest of the band will take it as well. And guys, you can still listen to the song. It's good. There's good stuff in that song. It's just, there's no disco industrial beats in it. Thank you, but
right.
It's still, yeah. Just go listen to it. You'll probably agree. Maybe not. Maybe I'm fucking dumb, but I
Mm,
don't think so.
no, I think the Morgrot universe agrees. Um, the thing about David, and as if you go back, like I said, you can find the watch the replay of that whole interview. He talks about how he doesn't give two fucks at all if somebody doesn't like it. If he likes it, if the band likes it, then that's all that matters to him, and that's okay. Um, it's just his delivery on this one.
You know, just because he's bringing that up, it bothers him to some extent. That his ass was exposed big time for Elude Divinus, whatever, Satanus, whatever, in 2011, the Morbid Angel record that people love to put on their worst albums of all time. And I don't think it's worst albums of all time. There are a few good songs on there, but yeah, it
Well,
does some
and
weird,
it
crazy
actually
stuff.
spawned from one of the questions that John Sorrell asked him of Morgrot magazine. He asked him, "Do you ever take shit for doing rockabilly and a country album?" And he just basically said, "Hey, it's not for everybody. If you like it, great. If you don't, go fuck yourself." I mean, that's just him. So I'm sure if somebody was to criticize him about this particular song, he'd probably have the same attitude, or I don't know, just be like, next question. uh, but, anyways, so how do we feel about Nature's Fangs?
I just wrote great. It's not as powerful. I mean, it's real good, not super powerful, and Spoils of War. I agree with the guy in Metals. Metal Sucks that it really isn't a kind of an end cap, and it does kind of wind down and let you chill out for the rest of the evening, sort of song. But it pulls out all kinds of cool black metal, like kind of Freezing Moon Mayhem stuff in there that's
Yes.
slow and atmospheric. And like I said before, hitting those three higher strings open and that just chime and chang. I love the way he uses the slower
Oh, my
space.
goodness. It's like, Satan's choir just, oh, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, I love it when he does that because you don't really get to hear a lot of that in black metal, period. Now, there's a little bit of it, I would say, probably in Behemoth, but there's a difference in how Nurgle would do it versus how Rune does it, and the way he did it, it just really kind of gave a nice, like you said, a nice atmospheric feel to it. Let's see here. I like the riffs in Nature's Fangs. Nice guitar tone, nad old blackened sounds.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel that. I do. Um, there's so much, like you said, many times, throughout our review here, that Rune sprinkles in the black metal every chance he gets, no matter what the song is doing.
Hmm.
It's in there and it's tight and it's brilliant. And I love that.
Yeah,
He's like one of
yeah.
the guitar players that figured out how to do that, I think.
Yeah, that's perfectly described. Like he nails it. Um, like one of the things when I listen to this album, or when I listen to Something Wicked Marches In, is I kept hearing kind of black metal meets death metal, so like a blackened death metal
Mm-hmm.
of Behemoth. However, better. I like it a lot better.
Oh, it's way
I
better.
think David's vocals have way more balls and push than Nurgle's, and I think the black metal Rune's guitar playing is way better, and in the way it's mixed, it bites way harder. It's heavier. It has much more of a black metal flavor, although it does have death metal flavor in it as well. But I kept going back to like Behemoth's Evangelion, and I love that
Mm,
album. That album is really good.
it's
It
fantastic.
reminds me more of that album, and that's where my Behemoth my favorite Behemoth is Evangelion.
And I think for the most part, it's everybody's, but world renowned is the Satanist.
Yeah, I like it. I just don't get into it as much. It wasn't like heavy enough. It's kind of like how I feel about Epic. And, Ultimus is Epic versus Something Wicked. It's I kind of feel the same way. They're good, but I'll take Evangelion any day.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So, back to metalsucks.net. They had something that we share. He says, and another thing, what the hell is with that weird vibrato in David Vincent's voice?
Yes.
I know he's gone on record to say that he wants to hear more clear enunciation in metal vocals, which I respect, but I didn't think this is what he meant. Every time he belts it out, like it literally sounds like somebody walked into the recording booth, grabbed him by the shoulders, and started shaking him as hard as they could while he was singing. It kept making me laugh, but not in a good way, because all I could think of was that top hat he always wears tumbling down to the floor. And he does mention this. I swear, if I have to listen to that doofy ass chorus from Mephisto one more time, I'm gonna lose it.
Fuck yeah. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
This is like one of the first times one of these metal journalists actually knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we have to email that dude and say thank you. Here's a link to our review. We're with you.
Sometimes it's like what one person thinks is catchy and will be lasting to the rest of us could be, I don't want to hear it again. You know, it's like when my daughter plays this one video game. As soon as that song starts playing, I'm like, damn it, it's stuck in my head now and I'm pissed.
Yes, it is catchy. It's fucking cheesy, but catchy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Velveeta cheese or Cheese Whiz. Like, I'm like, I know this shit's unhealthy, but
I'm thinking Dollar General
cheesy.
brand spray cheese, which is pretty much the lowest form of cheese there is. And he perfected it on that song. God damn it. So, I mean, obviously there's been some differences, you know, between what we've said, what he said, but kind of not too far apart for the most part. It started off weak, and we just got to let you guys know that. Now, it's not that it's bad, because it's actually good, but that's just not the way they should have started the record off. I think
agree.
track listing was a huge biff on this record.
Yeah. Well, I just think David, just for doing vibrato on that first song, Epic, like the first song with vocals, that was not a good choice.
I mean, if you like George of the Jungle or Captain Caveman, you know, that's
it does sound like Captain Caveman. Yes.
I hate to say
it. Oh, I used to love that show.
I would probably never say it to his face just because, I don't know, but it's what it reminds me of. Let's see. So Mousebonk says, I'm trying to decide on my favorite track. I guess Scorcher. I don't know.
Mine is Exercitus.
Exercitus.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's my favorite. I like Scorcher a lot too, but yeah, Exercitus or whatever it is.
For sure.
Exercitus.
I think it's the strongest track on the record. So I don't know. We leave it up to you guys as far as how you feel about this record. Overall, it's a solid effort, but really, there's only one track that it's kind of like we have to skip it. And that's because you don't want to be hooked into that fucking Satan's awful fucking word manifesto for too long, because I guarantee you it'll make you just go to pieces. Cody says, I'm going to have to try it all the way. I didn't make it through the first song. Oh, man. Out of the mouths of our beloved Cody. He said he couldn't even make it out of the first track. Dude, I'm telling you, when you hit Exodus, Miserere, actually, when you hit Miserere, see, that's what I would say. Start with track 3. Okay. Is that track 3? Yeah, I guess it would, because the first one's the intro. So track 3, then go through the 4th, skip the 5th, go straight to Scorcher. And the rest of the record is fine. There's some really good moments here. You know, and I have to wonder, does this have like diehard, Morbid Angel Mayhem fans like at odds, or?
I think a lot of the Morbid Angel fans are dissing on David as well, because it's like it made me feel like Morbid Angel's Elude album from 2011. It's like, oh God, bad choice.
So did he do some like funky vocal stuff there too?
Well, they had some kind of disco. Yeah, it was funky vocals, and it was disco-esque kind of industrial beats where he repeated one word over and over, 1 or 2 word phrase over and over and over. And it was just really, really boring.
And what year did that come out?
Like 2011, maybe 2012, but I think it's 2011.
And he hadn't learned the lesson set down by the great Glenn Danzig on Black Acid Devil. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, that album is not that bad. That Glenn Danzig is the king of that, and his left lazy Kyler nipple.
Is that what we're calling it now? The lazy left Kyler nipple?
Yeah. Kyler loves it. On a Mommy Milkers Monday, Kyler is that's his nipple from now on.
When you're not feeling so good, there's the lazy nipple. It's the lazy nipple song.
Oh, I'm dying. Oh, I mean, that was just, that just made my whole week right there. It's now known affectionately, Kyler, because we're not making fun of you in any kind of way, shape, or form, but it is officially the lazy left Kyler nipple. I love it. Let's see here. Oscar, hey, what's up, my man? Thank goodness you could make it. He says, great album, and is true after Miserere, it blows your mind, especially Scorcher. See, this is coming out of the mouth of the true fans. So, I mean, if you can take it from that, you can navigate this record a little bit, easier, that, maybe you can, save yourself the degradation of having to listen to Manifesto. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. Babylon chimes in with, if you stare at that nipple too long, will you get a lazy eye or a lazy boner?
Oh, it was a lady.
I mean, it was a legitimate question, right?
We were introduced to the lady boner last week, and now it's the lazy boner this week.
Question is, do they oppose each other? So
Oh,
many great isms
Matt,
around here. I
Matt, I
absolutely
could
love it.
say so much more.
Huh?
Now that we're toward the end of this, I want to bring up another pet peeve. And poor David,
Sure.
he's in the firing line of fire again.
Mm.
David, I saw you on tour with Morbid Angel. I think it was 2013 or 2014. I could tell your hair was thinning up top. You don't have to go back to the Victorian age and find all kinds of hats to wear, or go to the redneck age. He has some black redneck cowboy hat that he wears sometimes. It's so fucking cheesy. Dude, it's okay to shave your head. By the way, if you go back in my Instagram when I was scuba diving and stuff, my head was shaved as low as I could go without using a razor. I I look fine that way. I'm fine with my manhood without having long hair. I choose to have long hair now because I'm not scuba diving and it's not in my face all the time. But David Vincent, the hats you are wearing are fucking cheesy. It's not good stage. It like he wears this huge Undertaker overcoat now, like he's the vampire hunter, and he's got this hat that this big O hat that he wears, and it just looks awkward. Like he can't move. He has to be kind of stiff while he's doing stuff, and you can't jump around and get the crowd into it and stuff like that when you're wearing that costume. Men out there, just shave your fucking head. Like, or do John Luke Picard from the Star Trek series and just leave a little bit on the sides, but keep it real short. If you want to fly it long, like that's fine, but you don't have to wear a hat for everything. The world doesn't think badly, poorly. Like it, that's
That's just a little bit of what Brother Hoofbeast just said about David's character. That is another thing that was revealed, everybody out there, ladies and gentlemen, in the Morgrot universe. He specifically created a character for this band. And in his characterization of this entity wears the hat, the duster, and everything else. And, you know, first time I saw it, when I saw the first band pick, I said, nope. We are not about to have a beloved WWE wrestler
yes, yes.
impersonated in such a terrible way in the front man for this band, and he feels very strongly about it, and that's fine. I feel that some people might think I look stupid in my satanic horror makeup. I don't know. I don't care. And I think he feels the same way. But damn it, I did have to cringe a little bit. Like, dude, you're not the Undertaker. Stop it.
Mm-hmm. Van Van
Stop.
Van Helsing, The Undertaker, and then there's a book series that I read. I'm not thinking of it right now, but there's a book series where the guy wears a big leather overcoat and he wears a duster as well. I forgot about it. I forgot the name of it.
It's so overdone, and I think that in David's mind, I'm not speaking for him because I'm not in his head, but maybe he felt like it's never been done before in metal, especially in a situation like this, that maybe it could create like almost like a apocalyptic Stephen King vibe.
Yeah, it has that, I would say.
And he did say that like he wants to go into acting a little bit more. He said he did a few little things, but he's actually like wanting to get into horror filmmaking a little bit more. So you never know. We might see the old dusted bastard in a new horror film at some point. Yep. Oh man. Unholy Babylon. Thank you, sir. He says the hair crown, and then says the metal Jeepers Creepers.
Yes,
Nailed it!
another one. Yes.
Nailed it! And
Yes.
then Cody chimes in with the Gunslinger.
Yes.
But didn't we already have Dead and Tombstone? You know?
Yeah.
I would rather see one of the most beloved actors of all time playing that as he did in the Dead and Tombstone than see David do it, because it just wouldn't make any sense. My goodness. So, I mean, that's fine. At least he didn't try to like build some like dark, super, even cheesier, you know, kind of like, I have to say it. And I love Nurgle, and I love the fact that he was able to get his, you know, passion for country out a little bit with Me and That Man. But damn it, a country looking quasi satanic priest outfit just didn't do it for me. I'm like, dude, Marilyn Manson did that shit in a video called The Man That You Fear. And that was freakier on more levels than both of these dudes combined could possibly muster. So I'm like, it's been done before. Try something different. I don't know. It's just me. You'll never be the Undertaker. It's not going to happen. Sorry.
But, so, will I buy this album? I will buy this album, even though it has that song on, and even though it has vibrato in at least two of the songs. I think it's in Invictus as well, I think a little bit. I will buy it, but I'm for sure buying Something Wicked Marches In. That album is nuts.
Oh, it's gold. And I think that's why critics at large were like, what the hell happened?
Mm-hmm.
You gave us this solid fucking album, and then all of a sudden went straight into a slightly different direction. And I think this would have been fine. I think this totally would have been fine 5 years down, 4 albums down the road. A little bit of a evolution, if you will, within this.
I'd still be backing them up if they changed the way the tracks were arranged and they didn't have the cheese elements that were added. Then I would have their back, and I'd fight over this song or this album. It's a really good album.
Like it is.
Poor Rune. He busted his fucking ass. Poor the whole rest of the band.
And Rune even said that I always dreamed of a band that was more my own. So this was his vision, though, for Vltimas. So I wonder how much played into, or did he just say, okay, David, he even said in many interviews, he's like, I didn't even have to think about who I wanted as the vocalist. And it was like David all the way. So did he have anything to do with it? Did he say, hey, David, I love what you're doing there. Keep doing it. Or did he just said, David can do no wrong. Do your thing. Yeah. And I'll just back it. I don't know how serious of a man is Rune, you know, when you think about it. How much did he have to do with things other than how the music itself actually sounded? But the result is a fantastically produced record. From the drums to the bass, everything is balanced so well, and the vocals don't kill any part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give it 2 thumbs up on production. There was a couple of hiccups, guys. You know, we're not going to lie. There's a couple of songs in there that are just kind of like, they should have just been kicked off to the side. Not because of the music, but unfortunately the vocals just don't fit it. You know, it's almost like what would Manifesto sound like with different vocals?
You know, it would have to be the chorus would have to be written differently. The chorus would have to change. So it wouldn't be Manifesto for 7 to 10 seconds, 4 times, 16 times total. You know, what a shame. I just feel bad for the rest of the band. But
he ran out of words.
You know, we slammed that song, but this is like getting a fucking Disney song in your head. It is catchy. It's cheesy but catchy. I have that fucking song in my head right now as I'm dogging it out. So I guess there's some success in it.
It's definitely the song that you want to hang yourself to. And not because it's depressing. Well, it is kind of depressing because you're like, David, no, stop it. Don't do it anymore. You know?
Yeah.
But, oh no. Mouse Bong says, LOL. Guys, what rhymes with Manifesto? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I made a big batch of pesto.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
See, we found it. Mouse Bong came up with one too. Pesto.
Yep. Creamy pesto.
I like to eat tacos del fresco. I love it. Yes, exactly. You might as well put it to the tune of food because you basically have to emotionally eat after hearing that chorus.
Or if we want to follow the new Crow movie, we could call it something like Manifest Bro.
Case in point.
Throw the word bro in there.
At my shop today, I told a friend of mine, I said, if I had to do it, you have to do it. Watch the trailer and then give your honest opinion on if this changes your mind and you're willing to watch it. Because there were a ton of people that when this trailer hit a couple days back, the director friends of mine said, we hated the first look. The first look looks terrible. But take a second, watch the trailer, then give your honest opinion. Mine is still ultra suck. But if you're a true Crow fan, check out the trailer anyway. See if the result is the same as when you saw those first photos. That's all I can say. It's on YouTube. Check it out. It's like I told my director friends, I said, look, I'm going to be honest with you.
Finally.
I will still watch this film, but I will wait until it hits Netflix because I'm not giving them a single dime. That is my protest. I will not spend that $45, $50 to get the popcorn and the fucking soda. Maybe some of them have bourbon. We know this. Theaters, there's some new theaters out there where I could get in a recliner and watch this thing. I'm not going to do that because you know what's going to happen? I'm going to fucking fall asleep. And when that happens, that means I hated it. So Netflix, I already paid for it. No big deal. But I'm not giving that movie a single red cent. No, I will not do that.
You know, Reaper, I just had a thought. Next fall or next spring, if we get to go and tour some songs, people know that we drink bourbon. Both of us drink bourbon. I'll bet you people will bring us bourbon to the show.
I mean, there's no better gift that I could think of But if it's that peanut butter shit or fucking apple, no, I want good old Americana bourbon. That is what I love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Babylon, Babylon, Babylon.
Yep. He says, play, man, I want to fisto backwards and see what happens.
I guess that's the fisto on the way out.
I don't even want to think about that. That reminds me of a bad trip to the proctologist. And let's face it, that's not fun for anybody. Well, maybe for some people, but not me.
Well, David Vincent with his wife, he was in a band called the Genitorturers. So I think they could have a song about the fisto in there.
He's not married to her anymore, though. Maybe that was the point of the breakup.
Yeah, may that band rest in peace. It was more industrial stuff that I like.
You know, it's a crazy show, kind of a show on purpose, if you will. Kind of fun, obviously, in some ways, because it's very blasphemous, very lust-filled types of shows. So, I don't know. I'm sure he enjoyed that, but damn it, I don't know. Babylon, you might want to just maybe give him a quick email and let him know about your new song. You know, you never know. Let's see here. Holy crap. Wait a minute. Mouseball goes, we will defo bring you bourbon and high quality dabs.
Oh my God.
I cook vegan food and
give you
yes.
That is even better. I will take vegan food.
I figured that was more up your
that's 100%.
A little bit more up your alley than mine. Babylon says the new trailer smelled of cheap Axe body spray, cheap fake diamond teeth, and a John Wick ripoff. Yes. Now, I was actually talking to one of my friends about that today. I said, there's a reason that all the kills you see now, and it's not fucking murder porn, so, fuck off. What I'm saying is when they do kills now, because Alec Baldwin set a precedence about doing shootings in films now, they do not use blanks. Yes, they still have the gun, but CGI takes care of the rest because nobody will be killed. That's the future. It just took one. Although, technically, we could have said that back in the 90s when Brandon Lee died during the making of The Crow. Same thing. Same fucking thing. Although there's a lot of myths about that. So, people said they've been trying to kill, the Lees off forever. Like there's some kind of conspiracy theory. Whether you subscribe to that or not, that's up to you. Mousebong says that was spot on. It does. There's nothing Crow about it. I'm not even sure how we got there, but still. You see, it's a cultural phenomenon now. We all are boycotting this film that's coming out in June. So I don't know. My advice, this is not my acting advice. This is not coming from any kind of professional standpoint. As a fan, I would not go see it. I would not take my significant other to go see this film. Watch it on streaming service if you're really curious. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm doing it out of curiosity to see if there's anything good I can say about it.
You can always turn it off.
Exactly.
That's the best part. Just like we can always hit fast forward or skip on Mephisto Manifesto.
Exactly. Guys, you know, we live in a YouTube and a Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music age. If you don't want to even give that song a try, skip over it. Other than that, this album is very good in a lot of different ways. It hits a lot of different subgenres all at once. You know, take David's little vocal thing, just a little bit, maybe. It's not so bad in that first track. But again, if you're going to recommend this record to somebody, definitely tell them to start with track 3. That's all. But as always, yes, we do have to give it a rating, don't we? So Mousebong says maybe 3.3.
Yep. I was going to say 3.5. Yep.
Okay. I was actually going to be generous and give it a 4.
It could be that good, but God, the vibrato just drives me nuts for at least 2 of the songs.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's huge. That's, you know, something that can kill an album. Ozzy did that, I'd say 3 times. Once he starts crying, the album's over. In my opinion. So if you're a black metal fan, you will dig some of this. If you're a death metal fan, thrash metal fan, you'll dig a lot of it. If you like a mixed bag, you'll probably definitely like it. But vocally, there's going to be some moments that really irritate your ears. So that is what we're saying. It's still great. We still like it. Do we absolutely love it? I can't go screaming down the street, fucking naked, going, I love the new Vltimas fucking record. No, I can't do that. But I will say there are moments on there that you could put onto your own kind of playlist and rock the fuck out to it. That is what I'm saying. So, purists, you're going to hate it. I feel bad now. Cody says, nope, I just tried it. It's not for everybody. But if you're a hardcore black metal fan, Cody, try Exodus Ira. You'll like that song. It's everything you want it to be and more. You'll dig that. Maybe if that's anything you can take away from the record.
That and Scorcher.
Yep. Scorcher, yeah. Those 2 tracks.
Exercitus Irae and Scorcher, those are my 2 favorites.
Yep, mine as well. And trust me, I had it on my playlist all day listening to the whole record. Those 2 tracks are the standouts.
Yeah. And then the previous album, Something Wicked, Marches In.
Yeah, so I think that's what has everybody fucking twisted up inside. It's like, damn it, Something Wicked was such a powerful fucking record. Then you come out with this. Again, we're not saying bands are not allowed to be creative, try a little something different, mix it in with what you're known for. Some of them just didn't hit the mark on this one. No! Oh no! That's why he's hurt. He said, I tried the Mephisto song.
Oh, that's what I thought.
We told you not to do that. You were like the little kid that's like, old. Don't open it, stay away from it. And you did it, and now you're like, we told you not to do that.
I would have too. I would have.
Mouse Bong, you fucking rock. She says he pushed the red button. Yes. Yes, you did. Shame on you, Cody. And then Cody turned right around and said, it's like, don't push the red button. She just said you pushed the red button. Dang it. You're not supposed to do that. We told you this whole fucking podcast, don't listen to that song. Because once you do, it's not coming out of your head. And it unfortunately ruins the rest of the record for you. But right after that, Scorcher picks it back up and makes you feel whole again. So we thank you guys so much. This is our official review. Don't even take it from metalsucks.net. Listen to it for yourself. But as professional listeners, professional lovers of metal that we are, we're telling you, just don't listen to that one song. That's the only one.
Every one of them will listen to it. We've talked it up so much, they all will listen to it.
Yeah, they're still going to do it.
I would. I'd be like, fuck that. I want to hear this bullshit.
Right.
I want to have a laugh.
It's like a drinking challenge. They're like, I will drink the Kool-Aid. Oh, that's awesome. Let's see here. Oscar says, I like weird and experimental records. I think I'm the only one from my friends that likes Ilium Divinum Insanus. Okay.
Yep, that's the Morbid Angel that came out in like 2011 or 2012.
And that's
I like it okay, but there's just a couple songs I don't like. It's not as bad as all these metal reviewers make that album out to be.
Right. Oh my goodness. I love you, Cody. He says, depends on how much sugar is in the Kool-Aid. Man, there ain't no amount of sugar you could throw in that son of a bitch to make me want to listen to that song again. I refuse. I can't do it. It's still echoing in the recesses of my mind. And I'm like, God damn you for making a fucking catchy fucking song that sucks.
I know. It's the Little Mermaid. It's a Little Mermaid song or a Beauty and the Beast
Frozen.
song. Yes,
Frozen.
You can't get out of your head.
Absolutely. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they were hoping to achieve. It'll be lasting. It'll just stay in there somehow. But that's not the one that you want to be fucking jamming to with so many other epic oh wow. I just used the title of the record. There's better songs on the record. Miserere, Exodus, Ira, and Scorcher, by far best songs on the record, hands down.
Reaper, I think that when I move to Nebraska, you and I are going to have to do a funny video from the chorus for this song. We'll both have to wear assless chaps and a gay leather vest with no shirts on, and we're going to have to do a cheesy dance. Manifesto.
Oh, my unholy love of Lucifer. Oh no. That's about as interesting as the idea of me singing the Chino Moreno song that I used to sing about Chino of the Deftones, which you can catch on our Facebook pages and YouTube channel. I almost wanted to turn that, the idea was for me to like put on like a half shirt, bra kind of thing with the big fruit hat on top of my head. And, I was going to do the whole thing. I had a whole song, I'm sure people would like this better because there's leather involved. What the hell? Mousebong says, can I film?
Hell yes.
I'm so dead right now. And on that note, thank you guys so much for joining us on Mommy Milkers Monday. Tracks of the Damn Show. It's been brilliant. Everyone's been brilliant as far as we can definitely tell that you guys know the band. Some of you have actually listened to it. Some of you are just checking it out now. And that is really cool because at the end of the day, no matter what we say, and you got to form your own opinion. We don't want you to feel bad if you like the song Epic itself. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, the Manifesto song is just one that you don't want. That's the only one I stand firm on because it's so fucking bad. It's just bad. But there are some moments on this record that I absolutely love. And definitely I am very thankful for David doing the interview with us. He's a great soul and a hell of a musician. So my hat's off to him and all of Vltimas, because let's face it, there's nobody else doing what they're doing. There's still a super group. That's the one thing at the end of the day that I will stand firm on about that band. And as far as what metalsucks.net said, they are still a super group in every sense of the word. It's just, I almost wonder what this would have looked like 15 years ago. I think it would have been amazing. It still is amazing. That first record, 2019, Something Wicked, fantastic record.
It is.
This one has a hard time standing up to what they set down from the very beginning. So check it out. It's literally everywhere. However you get your music. I don't know. I guess, are we saying this beast? Are we saying check it out on Spotify first before buying?
I'm going to buy it. I can always hit fast forward through that one song and I can tolerate the others because it's the guitar work and the drums are like so fucking
They are the pinnacle point.
And the bass is really good as well.
Record. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Musically, instrumentation is so over the top amazing. So we're saying buy it because it's like Puff B said, hit the fast forward, make it disappear. You can do that, but support them as we say for all of the great underground metal bands, especially this one. So thank you all so much for tuning in and choosing us for your Monday night the entertainment. As we love, I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I'm just so excited because I'm like, I got all these creative ideas in my head now of videos that I'm going to have to make. And apparently, I don't know. I'm still like on the cusp of this whole assless chaps thing. I don't know.
Yes. Now my ass TMI is totally tattooed. Like my whole body is tattooed. So I have a whole Japanese back piece that goes from my neck all the way down to my knees. And then I have American traditional over. So it'll be chapless for me, but you're not going to have a white ass kind of contrasting with a black leather. I would not do leather anyways. It would have to be pleather. I do not wear leather of any sort.
I have no tattoos back there, so it's pretty much,
we're getting the moon.
Orca.
Full
there
moon.
is the big orca whale that you're looking forward to. So, no, maybe I'll draw a cry face on one side and a laughing face on the other. I don't fucking know, but I don't know if we're gonna do that.
Well,
I
no,
don't know if I'm gonna share it.
Mouse Bong has the creative juices flowing, so she's coming up to film this shit. Get ready.
This is terrible. But yes, thank you so much out there, our beloved addicts. Again, if you want to support the show, go to the Teespring, go to the Facebook pages, Morgrot, Black Flame Entertainment, or Reapers Underground. It's there. I also have it on Instagram as well. If you're Instagrammers, go to the stories on any of those pages and you will have the link to get the shirt, because at the end of the day, we love you all so much and we love the fact that you support us every single week. So now that you have assless chaps of both of us dancing in your heads to the tune of Manifesto, you must always remember, do it and stay heavy.